Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Me and my profession. I don't have a profession. First thing to do is to have a profession. Yeah, just come on in, that's all. These people are speeding their asses off. It's 25 miles per hour. How's it going? It's 25 miles per hour around here for a reason. Children, even though it's school time, but there's old, elderly, retired people, Airbnbs, and people who are from other countries who don't know how to drive that well. And these idiots just zip right on through here like they can't make this up. So I gotta pick up some cucumbers. The one that I had, right? I like when a cucumber goes bad within like 2-3 days if you don't have it in the crisper in the fridge. So this one got a little soft where I had a couple little bruises and stuff. And so it's sitting there. You can still use it actually. You can grow the seeds. So I'm gonna see if I can harvest some of the seeds and dry them out. So somebody was asking me, I guess they watched somebody's video about Three Sisters. We never really called the Three Sisters. That's what they call it. But they were asking about corn, maize, beans, and squash. I said, well, yeah, if you just grow corn, and you could do it now. You can grow it in argillate. I call it argillate soil. And there's names for it. Y'all can look it up. But when you add the bean and the squash, what happens is you get this based upon it. That's why I want y'all to hear about the thing about ether and all that. Because I didn't feel like explaining all that. You get this paradigm that causes the soil to become enriched. You dig what I'm saying? For it to become enriched. And it's magnificent. It is magnificent. So what was once brown becomes black. All right? Now, I know y'all, some of you who are still using the term black, you ought to see some of these people who got the YouTube channels getting they have so many people ignorantly following them, not knowing the truth behind it. You know, you want to talk about France Boaz and all the individuals. I'm going to talk about it earlier when I return, because we're going to have a little session. I'm going to read a little bit, but I'm going to have a little session so we can break, hopefully more people come in, because, you know, they are doing their little shadow ban, whatever. They're not too smart. They don't know when not to leave. They don't know when to not mess and when to leave certain people alone. You dig what I'm saying? But I don't care. And we're going to address the Air Force individual that self-emote set himself aflame. Now, I did a video on that. And I saw somebody posting these on Instagram, and I saw the ignorant comments coming from melanated people, not realizing what was really going on. Some would say, well, that was probably MK Ultra. No. That, y'all only saw 1 or 2 monks they showed, you know, back in the day on CBS and stuff like that in the 70s, you know, the 60s and 70s, as far as the Vietnam War, monks. It has been going on for a long time. We'll get a little deep into it. But when you talk about the Three Sisters, yes, when you want to enrich the soil, all right? That's why on the res, I was like, why they keep growing this yellow corn out here, this GMO, and they say they're indigenous. Now, I'm not here to throw any curses around or anything like that. What I am doing is I'm making a proclamation. All right? Yesterday I was fed up because I'm just so done with seeing how people could be so ignorant. I love Cure Meal's video he did yesterday, but in lieu of that, the people didn't look like that. Nor were they some fictional black, no white. They wore melanated, but these individuals that portrayed the roles is, again, far from the truth. These are an amalgamation of the Gujar. I don't care what anybody says, but I loved it because documentary wise, it was good, but it wasn't solid because it didn't use the real people of the soil, the real people that are still there in an abundance. And we'll get into that. But it was, I'm going right here. It was well. I like the way it was put together, but the history is remnant to the lie to make us look like we just became civilized. And it's not a slight against the video. I enjoyed it. You know, I'm always gonna like and share. But we were further advanced then. So when they start talking about sacrifice, I knew right then and there it was all bullcrap. We weren't sacrificing nobody. When I tell you the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then the 5th century, all right, to which we're in the 10th century, all right, not some 2000 whatever the smack. It's not it. No, man, no. We were further advanced than any of that. And we were so advanced we knew we didn't need clothes, but we had clothes. We didn't wear. You got to remember, the advent of synthetics started somewhere around in the, I would say, the 60s. That's when they wanted to lower because they saw that there was power still there. Because you got to remember, the media has been lying, changing the narrative all the time. Now, why am I saying this? Because it's a fact. If you don't have people with afros and everybody got straight hair and curly hair running around, it's a lie. It's well known the first hair beauticians were our people. I don't want to get into the wig party because that was a reversal. I've seen enough when I was wherever I went through South America. I wasn't in the military down there to be drugging and this, that, and the other one. The same people were taking the same agencies that had the military down there were the same agencies bringing the drugs into Europe and so-called Europe and here and everywhere else. The same individuals. Anywho, when you hide that truth and you obscure it with a racist narrative, that's a problem. Now, I know Kiramil shared it so people could see, but we did have people who looked outside of just the regular afro, the curly hair, and all that. Ergo, why they was able to come over here, and now they did incredible things that are outright lies, and that's been unfolding for some time, at least within the last, I would say, 2 decades. But I mean, deeply, heavily. Yet. That's like when I was talking about the movie Echo or whatever you want to call it, the mound builders. That is a complete damn lie. Now, all women were straightening out men's hair for a long time, and they weren't using the heat. When you are mineralized, you're using raw stuff. Your diet is, you don't have to eat but once a day. You can run miles, like 30 and 60 miles. You can run for 3 days. No, literally. These are based on real, not stories like a story, like a myth, but real history that's hidden. So, but I have no problem as long as you can hear what's being said, but you need to contest everything. Me, I like to contest things. I like to break things down. Sometimes some people don't want to, call the hijack, and I love it because you need to remember that some people look like some of the brothers here that we want to dismiss because of race, inclination, and everything else. We're not here to be we're not here to be dismissive of anyone. We're here to call a spade and an ace a ace. We know that the history has been lied. We know that they have attempted to subjugate us. That's why I put a pale skin in a video talking about what's the Negro and the African. There's millions and millions, if not a quarter, half a billion of our people over there in Africa. I have pictures going back to the 1800s of Africans with no afros. But I have pygmies from Louisiana, Papua New Guinea, Australia, even ancient drawings. Well, I say ancient, but old drawings of the people saw in Easter Island before the Britons or French, whatever you call these new, murdered them or took some back over there to incorporate a few so they can call it Easter Island, give a thing to Saturnina, which has nothing to do with anything. Our people never looked at the earth as some spinning ball because it was flat. They were able to see things based on technical instruments and things that you know nothing about. They were able to map everything to know the distances and phenomenal. I said that we are at our lowest. Say this is where we were, right? Say this is the highest of our plateau of existence. We could have went beyond that. You know where we're at? Way down here and beneath that line. That's where we're at. Well, a lot of you, the majority. And I know it's hard to accept that. I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm moving. Yeah, with a lot of problems. Inflammation. There's brothers and sisters catching cancer left and right. Curable stuff brought on by the enemy. Nobody wants to address those things. I want to see you guys not just physically live, I want to see you ascend. Ascension is paramount. It's going to happen. But there's one or two ways, and that's not good. You have an option. So I respect all work. The problem is most people don't really understand how things really get down, because we're given false sciences, and false narratives, and false precepts, and false conditionings, and things that are destructive. You dig what I'm saying? And the wonderful thing is there are people who are going to teach you, show you who you are, but they're going to incorporate other people too, because the earth was a melting pot. There was no destruction. It was a few that conspired against us. And in doing so, because we were everywhere. When they conspired against us, they conspired against all. See, that's what people are not picking up. I hear these religious zealots run around, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Jonathan, Hezekiah, blah, blah, blah. And they talking about discernment. I'm sitting there looking at them like, you freaking idiots. You just bit the bait, got hooked on the, got caught on the hook, and now the sink is bobbing. And they just playing with you. I got you. You know what I mean? With $1 on the end. Somebody made a donation this morning. My apologies. I appreciate it. So there's people who are doing magnificent work, but they need you to also not just show you who you are, but you need to understand who everybody else is. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to know everybody. That's why when I brought the Gujars up, I said, please research it. Everybody want to be stuck in the ether, and I haven't heard nobody explain it except for that one individual the way I know it, and a little more. And I just don't want to get into talking about the ether. I used to stand there talking with the 5%ers and Patterson on them and North. They sound so stupid. Let me look. I remember Farrakhan literally calling these Zionists, these Jews, the frauds of history. And then he got quiet for a little while. And then you hear these Muslims always putting Master Farad, and he no damn master. He was one of the Gujars. He brought something, but he brought religion, Kaikopia. But he was telling them who they were. But they decided to accept religion because it's a controlling vector. And then when you have pain and suffrage and you bring them into the light, but you keep blinders on them, then you can control the narrative. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been fighting and killing each other. You see that in Philly now. You see it in all over the place. And you have these goofy-ass agents who think they're going to supplement and subjugate. They have no clue. They still make wrong choices. Yeah, yesterday I was hot, man. Y'all don't know. I'm just tired of the whole gambit. So I had to do what I had to do. Outside of video footage, disconnecting TVs. I don't worry about infrared and who's watching. They can't see everything. My thing is, when somebody asks you politely, leave them alone. My advice is, you leave them alone. It doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. And most people, 99.99%, even those fake ass elites, aren't thinking. When you conspire and allow the story to be told and then make people believe it's something else, you have a bunch of idiots running around murdering each other, not realizing that they have a relation. And they use blood quantums and this, that, and the other. And I'm going to get into that when I get home, to divide all the people. You'd be surprised how many men will lynch. And to those monkeys lynching them, that was one of their ancestors as far as heritage go. That's how stupid and brazenly stupid they are. So they can shadow ban, they can block. There's other words I can use in terms that I've learned about and I'm not going to use, so they will know I know exactly what they're doing. I don't care what they're doing. All right? I want them to be right there. I want them to do it. I don't think they get it. They believe they're in control. When they elude the show, they have absolutely no control. When people are running around with all the chaotic atmosphere and all the things that are going on, oh well. You are very important. I'm going to say this again. This is not denoting anybody. You are so important. You choose to bicker and to stay in the deep, dark place, in the abyss of nothing, as if it's going to articulate some kind of transformation. You ain't doing the work required for that to even happen. Yeah, you're not. There are those who are walking and they're realizing it and they're learning some things. But for the majority, no, man. Well, why do I say it? Because I know. I was looking over some portraits and paintings and real pictures going back about 80 years. And I watched, and what I'm doing is I am putting together this physical transformation. Now, you know, sociology is my major. I'm not no college sociology. I'm studying sociology outside that. I understand the inner workings of it. I kind of like it. So I'm developing more in that narrative of social, not for no skills. That's a concept or precept that happens based on it, you know, its truth. But I'm utilizing the narrative to further involve myself in the psyche of the mental desperation and how it plays out. Now, they obviously know because they've created this phenomenon. I'm going to say phenomenon because it's so out of the norm. It is not normal at all. And we've already expressed how they've done it a few ways. Chemicals, just slow things, chaos, mayhem. While the idiots stayed behind the lines, they have those with frugal mindsets and emotionally broken, and they know the ones who can make it in certain places, so they create this division, saying they are greater than that, and then they give them this identity, which is a crisis, that it's the great I ams or group or whatever, and then they utilize that in a world of chaos. And then later on, through all the troubles that come from it, unless they're sociopaths, they reinvent themselves on religion and everything else, which is another false narrative, while not painting the proper picture to see things as it really is. Only a handful stand up. We got more and more. You see that on the other side of the spectrum of color. For those who are still caught in colorism, who are rising to the occasion and realizing there are millions of Palestinians that know we're the true Semitic people. But it's not enough in the voice because you've had so many wars create so much hate, dissension, and want revenge and destruction, that love is not the energy being fed. Well, energy is not being directed to feed love so that it will come back. No, it's still there. You can see it in passive, in passion-like moments. In passion-like moments. Yet, it is very obscure. It's hard to grasp the whole thing. Yesterday, what had me feeling the way I did was nothing but love. So it was information I needed to put out there. And it's easier for me to know what hate is. It's very easy. Love is something different. And sometimes love in ignorance, hate is utilized. You dig what I'm saying? Now, there's more to it, but it ain't that serious. If people would get it together, they would realize it is not complicated nor that serious. Yesterday, I felt there was a serious moment in this short existence, okay? Because if you think that you're just physical and you're mortal, well, you've already sealed your fate. They are practical in the realm of you believing you have one existence. And after that, you go somewhere, they have no friggin' idea. Not, I don't care what they have written, 50 miles, 100 miles, man, they have no clue. Y'all really need to be on your best behavior. You don't need to run around fighting and harming and hurting. You need to be the total opposite, unless it's called upon you. And when you're called, you'll know it. You'll know it. Because you'll do things outside the paradox of whatever they consider. You'll know it. And don't let your feelings and your little ragtag ass emotions they've created. They didn't create them. They have allowed them to expand and misappropriate you. That means to become something that never existed or never should exist in you. So you have illuminated something that's a perversion. You have to change the narrative. You have to, people. The narrative is yours. We all got along. There were people here that looked like all kinds of people. When they conspired, there were short and long straws drawn. And the deeds have been carried out. And you see that. I'm really getting tired of saying this. Okay? So, when we get home, there's a lot of people coming to liking and everything. These incomers want to keep. I'm grateful for those who share, but most people don't pay attention, or they hide it. That's the control they have, and even that's no control. That's weakness. What do they say? When you see a weakness in the armor, a chink in the armor, you exploit it. See y'all. Let me pick up these cucumbers and stuff, and I'll see y'all shortly. All right. One love. Who all came in here? TRU. Love. Nothing but love. Benji. What's going on? Herb. God, Jah. Sprinkle that water. Yes. 7 grams. What's going on, beloved? Number love, y'all. It's number love, man. Appreciate y'all stepping in. Share this, and I'll see y'all here shortly. All right.